Oh! Oh, fuck, man. Oh, fuck, man. Oh, shit, bro. Oh, fuck, dude. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hi, everybody. Hello. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome. Good morning, 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 good morning. I hope you got a nice cup of coffee. How are we doing, comrades? Delish, delish, delish. So, guess what happened last night? President Donald J. Trump designates fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. Good morning, Vietnam! Or as I should say, good morning, Venezuela! This is insane. This is outlandish. This is beyond the pale. Every single hospital in America has fentanyl in it. Every single hospital in America is now harboring weapons of mass destruction. And every single doctor and nurse in the United States of America is now a terrorist that is harboring weapons of mass destruction. What? What the fuck are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? Good morning. Glory to the proletariat. Good morning. Yo, this is fucking crazy. This is so stupid. They're not even hiding it. I want to say that they think we're stupid. The problem is that we are, right? They think we're stupid because we are. Not you in the chat or me. Like, if you're in this chat, you're far smarter than anybody else who's, like, in American politics. But they are pissing in our face and telling us it's pissing. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. And then there's MAGA folk who are thanking them for the piss. Thank you for pissing in my face, sir. It's so warm. So warm. What stupid shit is Trump saying now? Brother labeled fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. Remember WMDs? It's 2011 again? Bitch, it's 2002 again. It's 2003. It's 2004. Oh my god, bro. It's the stupidest shit I've ever fucking seen him do. Or not stupid, it's just blatantly gearing up for war. Thanks for, 10 months, Nelson, as a member. Wow, time flies when you're having drugs. Fent is used for epidurals, poor women giving birth. Yeah, I know. Does this make pocket fent like almost like nuking someone now? Pocket fent, like you just tossed a weapon of mass destruction at somebody. That's so fucked up. We're gonna have that queued up. I gotta get Trump saying it too. Hold on. What the fuck is this?
Charlie, it's Jeff. Do you copy? Charlie, it's Jeff. Can you hear me? On your left.
Top 5 videos of all time. Top 5 videos ever fucking made of all fucking time. I don't even think that was AI, bro. I think, yeah, sure, maybe they put the AI to get Charlie's face on there. But, like, somebody really is putting their incredible talent and effort into making that. Oh my god. That was John Pork and Drake, Tung Tung Sahur and LeBron and Jeffrey Epstein and Diddy. Oh. Oh. Una mattina mi sono alzato, bello ciao, bello ciao, bello ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invasor, un partigiano, portami via. Bello ciao, bello ciao, bello ciao, 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 partigiano, portami via, che mi sento di morir. Yeah. 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 Trump says Fent is a WND. Oh.
Into our country, deadly fentanyl flooding into our country. With this historic executive order I will sign today, we're formally classifying fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction, which is what it is. No bomb does what this is doing.
What?
200 to 300,000 people die every year.
Do you not know how many people we killed in Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Do you think it was less than that? Are we dead ass? Are we dead ass?
That we know of. So we're formally classifying fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. But before I sign the fentanyl order, we will pin the deadly.
Okay, we'll have that queued up. I gotta get my Google Docs. I got a Google Doc today. Google Doc. Google Doc. All right. Hi, Luigi. What are you doing? What are you doing? Hi, Mama. Hi, Mama girl. Alrighty. Google Dick. Google Dick. It's a Google Dick. We got a little Google Dick ready to go. Mouse it down. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. We got a lot to talk about today. And we're going to talk about it all. So we make a really long video and break it up. All right. So what do we got? We got Trump doubling down on on his comments about Rob Reiner. Let's see. Even MAGA, like Republicans and fucking, enlightened centrists are all condemning Trump over that. Trump's new poll, he's at 42% approval, 58% disapproval. MAGA is fucking plummeting against him. He's down to below 50% approval for Republicans and less than 70% approval for MAGA. Now, what does that mean? That means that people who identify as MAGA, which is funny because they like hate gender identity and shit. Meanwhile, their fucking pronouns are MAGA. The MAGA folk they went from 80% approval to 70%. Like, he's losing support from his own actual literal cult. Like the actual cultists, right? Let's see, what else? We've got, Yeah, leaked audio from the RNC chair saying that they are 100% facing a certain defeat in the 2026 midterm elections. Congress is scrambling. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about there. We have a lot to talk about today, folks. Jesus Christ. We're going to make, I think, like 7 videos today. You guys down to make like 7 fucking videos today? You guys down for that? This is going to be a lot. We got a lot to talk about. Check out all the links we got today. Look at all this. Let's go over essentially just the headlines. We're going to be covering Trump and MAGA falling apart, some Venezuela war updates, Ukraine war news, closer or Neville Chamberlain 2.0. It's probably going to be Neville Chamberlain 2.0, most likely. Israel breaks the ceasefire for what? I think like the 96th time. Trump is a cuck, as we know. Australia Bondi Beach Hanukkah shooting. We got to talk about that and the hero who stopped it. Kash Patel and his entire FBI is a joke. They keep fucking up everything. Literally everything. Every investigation that they do. Whether it be Charlie Kirk's assassination, whether it be the bombs, whether it be the fucking Brown University. They literally can't stop fucking everything up. Let's see. Lone bomber in Syria killed 2 Americans. Could it be a false flag? Who knows? New Epstein photos, Trump, Bannon, Woody Allen, Clinton, a lot of sex toys. We got Groyper news, Young Republicans. They also got, I'm pretty sure they got trolled by Matan at the Young Republicans. And then AI lobbyists have won the war against regulation. It is now illegal to regulate AI. Okay? We got a lot to talk about. Let's dive in. I think the first thing that we should start with is I guess the MAGA control just plummeting. Or maybe we should start with Fent. Should we start with the Fent? I think we should start with the Fent. Let's see. Start with Fent. Get these links. Thank you for the $5. Hey, Mr. Valence Electron, would you rather have $1 billion or extract with 3 rusted gears? I don't know, man. When I find springs, I genuinely consider extract. Just some fucking springs, and I'm like, I got it out of here, you know what I mean? Damn lack of YouTube Premium. Yeah, no, I'm sorry about that, guys. YouTube is not very good when it comes to the amount of fucking advertisements that they pump out. It's quite a lot. Anyway. We're going to start with Fent. I just want to give a check to see what we're dealing with here. Experts say Trump designates street fentanyl as WMD, escalating militarization of the drug war. Dude, I literally, I'm not kidding. I just wrote a fucking script about this. I just wrote a script because I'm making a video called 5 Steps to Coup d'etat any nation. I'm making a video called like How to Coup d'etat and in 5 easy steps. And obviously step 4 is manufacture consent, right? Manufacture consent in the homeland for the war. And one of it, like, let me see if I can just pull up the script for you. I gotta just show you the script. It's fucking crazy. I did this fucking yesterday, bro. All right, let me show you. Let me see if I can find this. Yeah, manufacture consent. Let's see. All right, yo, I made this yesterday. Dude. I made this fucking yesterday. Please look at this, bro. Please look at this. I go. For example, in the early 2000s, when we here at the CIA were manufacturing coke, wait. Oh, we're manufacturing consent for the invasion of Iraq and Afghanistan. Some idiot came up with the bright idea of claiming that they had weapons of mass destruction. Making a claim like this without any sort of evidence is a risky move, because if the people find out you're willing to lie about something as big as WMDs, then they'll begin to question everything else. Why are you guys so nervous? Did you already claim that there's WMDs in Venezuela? Okay, that's okay. I mean, really, no, really. Venezuela, of all places, though? Okay, just say the drugs are WMDs, because, like, you know, a lot of people died of drugs. I don't know. I can't help you with that one. That's absolutely fucking insane of you. But, hey, you're too far gone to stop right now. So now is time for the final step. Military intervention. Bro, I deadass wrote this shit. Hey, Chris, thanks for everything. I'm still OAL no matter what. They can't silence me. No, thank you. Listen, your job matters more than, you know, me. So make sure you keep your fucking job, all right? Bro, I wrote this shit yesterday. Yesterday. Okay. Fent.
It's found that survivors were actually killed while clinging onto that boat. Should Secretary Hegseth, Admiral Bradley, or others be punished?
I think you're going to find that this is war, that these people were killing
So we're at war. So I'm right. We're at war.
our people.
Dude, meanwhile, fucking MAGA bootlicking nut jobs will literally say that we're not at war, that it's not war. All right, well, what about this?
To that boat. Should Secretary Hegseth, Admiral Bradley, or others be punished?
I think you're going to find that this is war, that these people were killing our people by the millions, actually, if you look over a few years. I think last year we lost close to 300,000 people were killed. That's not mentioning all the families.
I made the banned book list. What are you talking about? Oh, yeah. No, I get it. Yeah, yo, wait, that's actually such a fucking flex. I'm like the modern version of a banned book. You know, me and my content, modern version of a banned book from the fucking fascist dogmen.
Not only the people killed, the people that are trying to get their son or their daughter off of this poison that they've been fed. I think you're going to find that there's a very receptive ear to doing exactly what they're doing, taking out those boats. And very soon we're going to start doing it on land too.
Huh?
Because we know every route, we know every house, we know where they manufacture this crap, we know where they put it all together, and I think you're going to see it very soon on land also.
There's literally no fentanyl in Venezuela, by the way. Like, not even kidding. I'm not trying to be like, oh, I don't like Trump, therefore I say everything he says is false. No, like, even Border Patrol and DHS and, like, the DEA all know fentanyl doesn't come from Venezuela. Fentanyl is made in China, and then it is shipped to South America, and it is funneled through the southern border in Mexico. Venezuela doesn't sell fent. Venezuela doesn't ship fent. Venezuela is like a place where cocaine traffickers from Colombia will go through. But who doesn't love a little bit of booger sugar, you know? Talk to your own fucking son about that, Donnie boy. The fuck?
So to be clear, you support the decision to kill survivors after the initial
No, I support the decision to knock out the boats, and whoever's piloting those boats, most of them are gone, but whoever are piloting those boats, they're guilty of trying to kill people in our country. Yep.
All right, well, that's fucking nuts. What else do we got here?
Is insisting that the main reason he's interested in Venezuela, the main reason the US is kind of looking at tankers off the coast of Venezuela comes back to drugs, the trade, the smuggling of illegal drugs out of Venezuela. But what if it's not just that? Maybe there's something else going on. What if it's partly about oil? Now, on the surface, you might be thinking, why does America even need Venezuelan oil? And I can kind of understand your point, because if you look at just total oil production, look, this is up until 2005, the US was there, Venezuela was there, Saudi Arabia was there. But as you probably know, since then, everything has changed. Look, American output has gone through the roof, way above Saudi Arabia. Way above Saudi Arabia.
I haven't watched this yet, but I think I can tell you my theory. Here's my theory, right? One of the reasons why we are so aggressively going after Venezuelan oil is that the State Department knows what is about to happen in the Middle East. And when I say that, I mean that Israel is going to attack Iran again. Iran, the Ayatollah, said that if Israel attacks them again, it will be the last war they ever fight. Now, my assumption here, and this is my prediction, okay? I got no evidence to back this up, but I'm usually right. Israel will try to knock out the Iranian nuclear program again, because I know Trump said we obliterated it. We didn't. Israel will try to knock out the Iranian nuclear program. Iran will retaliate by launching a nuke at Israel. Israel will successfully destroy that nuke in the air. Yes, there'll be carnage, but it won't actually hit Israel. Israel will then retaliate with their own nuclear strike. It will be successful. They will successfully nuke Tehran. That will render the entire oil market of the Middle East so unreliable. Mass chaos. The Iranians will probably annex the Strait of Hormuz, hold it down, bar any oil trade to the Western world. Then we're going to have to deal with American involvement, other nations. Once that fucking nuke goes off, everything is going to change. Literally every single aspect of your life is going to change once that Israeli nuke detonates in Tehran.
And Venezuela has gone basically to the floor.
And that is why we are seeking Venezuela oil. We are seeking oil on our side of the planet so we don't have to go over to this fucking nuclear fallout zone.
Kind of post-Chavez, Maduro, they're one of the minnows now, and I think 21st biggest producer in the world. So again, that question, why should America care? Well, in the US, that big rise is largely down to this. It's down to the shale revolution. So you've got fracking all around the US producing extraordinary amounts of crude oil. And here's where we get to the interesting bit. Because when you're thinking about crude oil, maybe you're just thinking about, well, look, barrels of oil. It's all the same, isn't it? Well, actually, no.
Iran doesn't have nukes, imbecile? Yeah, I know they don't have nukes, but they are creating a nuclear program. And the reason why they're doing it is because it's the only thing that can save them, bro. Let me explain something to you. I'm not one of those dumbasses who thinks that Iran is 2 weeks from having a nuke since 1980. What I am trying to tell you is, use your head for a second. Please just hear me out, right? What nations do we label as enemies? Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, right? Like, would you at least agree? Who's the guy? Green Kid. Don't leave yet. I really want to talk to you about this. You would agree that those four nations are enemies of ours, right? Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea. Yes? Yes? Would you agree there? I really am trying to talk this out with you. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm trying to get you to understand my mindset here. I know you agree, but I want to make sure this guy Green Kid agrees too. All right, here's my point. Those are four nations, okay? Which one of those four nations have we bombed, like, in the past, 30 years? Not China, not Russia, not North Korea, Iran. We have bombed Iran. Now, what do those three nations that we haven't bombed have in common? They have nuclear weapons. We don't bomb China, we don't bomb Russia, we don't bomb North Korea because of the fear that they could use a nuclear weapon. Even if we blew it out of the sky, they're going to use a nuclear weapon. Iran has been playing by the rules. Iran has been saying we're not going to build a nuclear weapon. And regardless, Israel bombs them. America bombs them. Never-ending intervention in their nation. Iran has reached a point where they quite literally need a nuclear weapon in order to prevent them from being attacked, despite the fact that they are being attacked for allegedly building a nuclear weapon, right? So you saw they got striked to all high heavens, despite the fact that they were complying with the IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Association, right? They were complying. They had American fucking regulators in there looking around, making sure they weren't building nukes, and yet they got bombed. So if I'm Iran, I'm going, you know what? Fuck this. We need a goddamn nuke, because we can hold up that nuke and say, do not fucking touch us again, or we're all dying. And the same way that we don't have the balls to bomb China, we don't have the balls to bomb North Korea, we don't have the balls to bomb Russia, Iran wants that power. They don't want to be fucking bombed anymore. And it seems like the only nations we don't bomb are the ones with nukes. So yes, I agree, Iran does not have nukes yet. But I do believe they are trying to create them, rightfully. I think we should be dismantling nukes worldwide. I am a fucking delegate at the United Nations for nuclear disarmament, right? I got to talk to people who have been literally survived nuke attacks, like very, very, very old people from Japan. I've talked to people who work on maintaining our nuclear weapons. I've talked to these people. I believe that Iran needs a nuke in order to... I think the first step to have any power on the geopolitical stage, whether it be you're a nation state or a terrorist group, is get a fucking nuke. Because once you've got a nuke, you've got bargaining power. Without that nuke, no one gives a shit what you have to say. But with a nuke, now people got to listen to you.
So if you kind of look at crude oil, there are various different types of crude in different parts of the world. There's actually kind of various different ways you can categorize it, but one way you can look at it is look at the kind of density. So you're basically looking at how thick that crude is. And when I say thick, I mean literally how thick. This is showing you global production broken down by the density of that oil. And so you've got the kind of medium stuff. And this is probably, if you've got kind of image in your mind of what crude oil looks like, it's a bit like this, you know, it's kind of black, but it's not too viscous, it flows around. But there's other stuff as well. So this is light crude. And it kind of almost looks like a smoothie, doesn't it? And that's the same stuff. This is still crude oil, but down to the kind of geological and the biological conditions in the ground when it was being formed, you know, hundreds of millions of years ago, it comes out looking a bit different. And so that's light. You've also got heavy stuff. And it's kind of relatively small in global production, but this is gloopy, super viscous stuff, heavy oil. So heavy, medium, light.
Did somebody say goop?
Right, remember that. And remember also, the key thing here is, you get it out of the ground, it may look like that, but ultimately, you still need it to go into, you know, someone's car, or indeed, you know, be turned into chemicals. Basically, you need to process it. And that processing, that happens in places like this, in refineries. And there are refineries all over.
Is that Operation Firestorm? Is that Tajikistan?
The world, of course. There are refineries all over the US as well. There's kind of more than 100 of them. And if we kind of look at where those refineries are, well, so there's some in California. So the history in America, actually, historically, a lot of the early Californian oil, that was the heavy, gloopy stuff. And if you look at kind of some of the refineries in America, so here are some of the refineries. There's one in LA there. These are the 10 biggest. You've got some up here around
for the $2 of tapioca.
We'll kind of come to that in a second. But a lot of them are down there, kind of Texas, Louisiana, on the coast. And here's the critical thing. These refineries are primarily set...
Chatter says Hiroshima and Nagasaki were very, very small compared to what we have today. I don't think small is the right word. Hiroshima and Nagasaki were microscopic compared to what we have today. When I was at the United Nations, I got to learn things that I didn't know, and they shook me to my core. Some of the weapons that exist today are, not even joking, powerful enough to shift tectonic plates. Okay, now if you don't know what that means, maybe you've heard the word Pangea. Back millions of years ago when we were one massive continent that split into 7 different continents, right? Those are tectonic plates shifting. The weapons we have today can literally shift tectonic plates. It would kill everything, not everyone, everything. Every single creature on this planet would die, except perhaps the microscopic creatures, but all the fish, all the animals, all the bugs, maybe not the roaches, but it would kill everybody, everything.
Up for heavy oil, for taking that gloopy stuff and turning it into gasoline and all of the other different products. But here's where things get interesting. And remember that chart I showed you a moment ago, the one that showed kind of shale oil and how it kind of went through the roof? The oil that's generally produced with shale oil, the fracking oil, that comes out of the ground mostly in the light form. So it's the smoothie. It's sometimes actually even clear. It comes out of the ground clear rather than black. And that's the majority of American production right now. Shale oil tends to be light stuff. And actually, that's kind of going back 10 years. Look at where we are now. Look at those bars. In the last few years, the amount of light oil being produced in the US has gone up and up and up, and the amount of kind of heavy stuff has gone down. But back to those refineries. They need to be fed. If America's going to have gasoline, it needs to feed those refineries with heavy oil. So if you look at the kind of imports coming into America, in recent years, even though America is producing so much oil, more oil than it ever produced before, it still needs to suck in loads of oil from overseas. And the type of oil we're talking about, it used to be, it's mostly heavy crude. It used to be only 12%. So only 12% of imports were heavy, gloopy crude. Now, it's about 70%. So 70% of the oil coming into America, which it needs to basically keep its economy going, is heavy crude. And
why do billionaires think they'll survive the nuclear holocaust? Because they will. Because there are intricate tunnel systems and nuclear bunkers scattered across the entire fucking nation that are designed specifically for the 1% to survive the nuclear apocalypse. Fallout is real. Like the game and the show, those vaults, those are real. This isn't hyperbole. That's not a conspiracy theory. Those exist. They are billionaire bunkers. There's fucking articles written about it. There's deep dive documentaries on it. The billionaire bunkers exist. You and I will die in the nuclear apocalypse. Donald Trump will live. Bill Gates will live. Jeff Bezos will live. They will all fucking live.
Where does heavy crude come from? Well, here are some of the big countries where you find most of it. It's Canada and Venezuela. There's one other I'll come to in a second, which we'll come back to. But it's Canada and it's Venezuela where you get most of this heavy crude oil, which is why, back to think about where those refineries are, they're mostly set up kind of, you've got some in the north there to get heavy oil coming out of Canada, and you've got some around the kind of Louisiana and elsewhere and Texas to get that heavy oil that comes in from Venezuela. That was kind of the way they were set up. And it's really expensive to rebuild these things. You can't just chuck out a refinery very easily overnight. Some came from Mexico and the Gulf of Mexico as well, and that was pretty heavy too. So that's the picture in America. And the upshot is, even though America's producing more and more oil, the imports, this is showing you imports of oil into America, are still really high. And if you break down those imports by the country that stuff is coming from, well, there's Venezuela, and it used to be a decent slug, actually more coming from Venezuela just about than from Canada just at the turn of the millennium. But now look at what's happened since. Right now, Canada has gone from 15% of all of the US imports of oil to 61%. 61%, and Venezuela's based.
You just said we have weapons that can shift tectonic plates and everything on Earth would die. Yes, but not the people in the fucking bunkers that are 17 miles below ground with its own self-sustaining ecosystem in there. Those people will obviously fucking live. When I'm talking about everything on Earth, I'm talking about everything that is up here, everything that is on the surface, not the fucking shit that is deep in the tunnel systems.
Basically next to nothing. But here's what's tantalizing, and here's the reason I think that a lot of people are looking towards Venezuela and thinking, well, there's more to this than just drugs. Look at total oil reserves around the world. The higher these bars are, the more oil there is in the ground, so that hasn't yet been taken out of the ground. So there you've got Saudi, Iran, Iraq, all of the usual suspects. But the biggest of all, and this is according to various different sources, the biggest of all is Venezuela. And what's that oil? It's the heavy, tarry stuff that you might well want to put into those American refineries. And there is really only one other place in the world that has a kind of serious amount of heavy oil other than Canada and Venezuela, and lo and behold, guess where that is? It's Russia. All of which is to say, you know, it matters what kind of oil America needs. It's worth just delving into these kind of nuances because that helps you understand a little bit more about the backstory of geopolitics.
I mean, that was good to learn from. I'm not going to include it in the video, but that was good. Oh, friend of the show, Adam Kinzinger.
So I was thinking of something. I flew the RC-26 in Iraq.
Thank you for the $50 donation. Shag caught a ban too. I heard Shag was permanently banned on her 1.3 million follower TikTok. Listen, Shag, if you ever see this, I got banned with a 3.1 million. This is just the name of the game, sweetheart. Take that as a fucking badge of honor. You know, you are now on the banned book list, Shag. Welcome to the fucking club.
Probably haven't heard of the plane. It's a reconnaissance plane. We basically find bad guys, work with the Special Ops Command. That's the plane right there. It's pretty cool. But anyway, you know, our job in the height of the surge in Iraq was to go find some of these high-level people that are on the one.
Shag, if it can give you any solace, so my main account, right? 3 million banned, right? I had a secondary account. That's the one I use right now. That had like 500,000 followers, and it got permabanned. And then randomly, on my birthday, I didn't appeal it. Randomly, for no fucking reason on my birthday, I was back. I could just log in. It made no sense. So there's still hope out there. Just give it a, you know, give it a month or two or something. But for now, just use your other fucking account.
List. So these would be, I don't know, head of different groups, right? Like very high profile people that we need to get. And we
oh my God, he's got GERD. He and I, we both have fucking GERD. He's trying to fight the burp. He's trying to fight the burp.
Go out. We'd have our mission set of people that we need to get. And it would either be a kill mission or a capture mission. So yes, there were times we'd go out and they would say, look, if you find this person, you know, we're gonna kill him. But a lot of the times it was, we're gonna capture, right? So what's the reason I say that? Because with these boats, the boats in the Caribbean, it was always preferable to capture, not always, but in many cases, to capture the person.
Well, let me guess before I even hear the rest of this, because if you're running anti-drug operations, right, intel matters a lot, you know, because it's not like the guy in the fucking boat is the leader of the cartel. You capture him, you question him, you interrogate him, maybe you get a little bit closer to your Sicario, right? That's why you would be capturing them. Let's see what he says.
Because you could get intelligence from them. You could actually, if you capture somebody, then you could see who they're talking to.
You see what I mean? And guys, I'm not some fucking military expert. I'm not some fucking genius. I'm not a general. This is common sense. I'm pretty sure you all have the same fucking idea. It's fucking common sense. Like, if you got a high-ranking target, Sicario, big bad terrorist, like, sure, take them out. But we're talking about fucking guys in boats. Like, You could probably get so much information from them if you really cared.
Who they're working with, and you can kind of grow that network out of people that you need to go after. The same thing is true for boats and drugs, right? So the whole story about blowing up these boats instead of interdicting them like we've done for years, interdicting, you'll shoot out the engine and then have a Coast Guard cutter.
I just said, oh my, yo, dude, every single day I realize that I actually do need to become a politician. Not because like I'm a genius or anything, but because like what he's saying, what I'm saying, it's just common sense, right? But for some fucking reason, like, look at the comments. Thank you for the context. I'm grateful. Like, thank you for giving us this information. Like, how the fuck do people not know this? How do you not come to this conclusion on your own? How dumb are we?
Or Navy vessel come and get the boat. It just doesn't make sense, like why we're doing it this way. Anyway, it was just something to think about. Like, my experience with the U.S. military was it is preferable to capture unless there was a great danger in it. And I'll tell you, these drug running boats for the U.S. military is not something they fear. So I don't know why they're doing it.
They're doing it because the cruelty is the fucking point, and they have to set a precedent that if you are labeled as a enemy of America, as a domestic terror threat, as a terrorist, right, that we will just kill you on the spot. They're trying to set that precedent starting with foreign drug dealers so that when they do bring that violence home to the homeland and they start killing people like me and anybody who's a dissident of the fucking regime, they can point back and go, hey, well, he's a terrorist and we've been killing terrorists on the spot for a couple of years now. Remember when we started in Venezuela? It is all about setting the new status quo that we now kill on the spot. That's the fucking point.
Maybe it's just to look tough. Maybe it's another reason. Curious what you think.
I gotta have Adam on the show. I talk to Adam all the fucking time. I think I already asked him if he ever wanted to be on the show. He said absolutely. So I think I gotta interview Adam, maybe like this week or something. I'll text him when we're done. I'll be like, yo, do you wanna come on the show and just show people that a former Republican congressman who actually had like populist beliefs and a Gen Z leftist YouTuber can come to middle ground and be like, yeah, no, like they're fucking nuts. They're not Republican. They're not Democrat. They're barely even fucking American. They're not. They're not even fucking Americans, bro. I think at this point, I think he'd be down. All right.
So
We'll have that queued up. We're going to start with this. I just want to see the details of this article. All right. I also just want to see are you guys, what the fuck? All right, hold on. I also need something. I need to cheer myself up for a second.
He stood unshaken, a voice in the storm, a man of conviction, a heart reborn.
Who are we, Chad?
He spoke the truth.
Chad, who are we?
When the cost was high, he lived for Jesus, unafraid to die. We are Charlie Kirk, we carry the flame, we'll fight. husband, a father, his family held near, a home built on scripture, on faith without fear. The world tried to silence.
It's so good, too. This AI Kirk song is so bad. No, it's so good, dude. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It's unironically so good. Oh. Don't worry, I'm not going to play it again.
We are Charlie Kirk. We carry the flame. We'll fight for the gospel in His name. We are Charlie Kirk. His courage our own. Together unbroken, we'll make heaven known.
All right. That's it. Notice me, senpai. Hello. Okay, that's it. No more. Let's make this video. Oh, I forgot to say hi to my baby. All right, let's lock in. Let's make a video. What is it? Right there.
We are Charlie Kirk. We carry the flag. Gotcha, bitch. We'll fight for the gospel under His name.
All right, that's it. I'm done now. I'm done. For real, I'm done. For real. That was it. Okay, let's make a video. There we go. All right. Let's make a video. That's it. No more. Okay. Let me start recording. Donald Trump just signed an executive order that makes
Charlie Kirk. We carry the flame. We'll fight for the gospel in His name. We are Charlie Kirk. His courage our own. Together unbroken, we'll make heaven known.
Now I'm done. Rule of three. This isn't Family Guy. This is not Family Guy. I'm not gonna go to 7. It is funny if you hit 7, but I'm not going from 3 to 7. That's fucking nuts. All right. Did Trump really make fentanyl at WMD? Yes, bro. Look, this is the whitehouse.gov. Fact sheet. President Donald J. Trump designates fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. Yes. Oh no, Luigi's about to fucking tweak. Don't do it, Luigi. I hear that fucking dog in the hallway. I hear that dog freaking out in the hallway. Hey. Just a doggy. Hey, it's just a doggy. Luigi, it is Jefferson. That is your friend. Luigi, it's Jefferson. God damn. Luigi, it's Jefferson. You know Jefferson. He's a good boy. You play with Jefferson. Luigi, it's Jefferson. God. Luigi, it's just Jefferson. It could be Hamilton. I have no idea. It's either Jefferson or Hamilton, but it's probably Jefferson. He's a loud barker. Okay. Alrighty. Let's actually make a video now. Ready to lock in? Because we got a lot of work to do today, guys. We're 45 minutes in. We haven't made a single fucking video. We have a lot of work to do. I fucking love you guys. I hope you guys know that, like, this is us. Like, this isn't just, like, me. Like, I know that I'm the guy on the camera, but I'm just the talent. You know, you guys are the voice. I'm the megaphone. It's not about, you know, it's not just about me. It is about your voices too, you know, and that's something very important to be able to recognize, right? We love the mods too. No, I mean, no, genuinely, like we are Charlie Kirk, okay? We are Charlie Kirk. We carry the flame. We'll fight for the gospel on his name. We are Charlie Kirk. All right, to work. Here we go. He said, that's it, I'm out. No, you're fucking not. Sit the fuck down. Sit the fuck down. Thank you for the $50. Thank you for the $10. I appreciate that. All right. We gotta get to work. I'm gonna start recording now. King Donald has labeled fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. Welcome back to 2003. We're going to war, folks. I mean, this is outlandish. This is insane. Every single hospital in the United States of America has fentanyl in it. So I guess now all of our nurses and doctors are terrorists harboring weapons of mass destruction. I made a fucking video yesterday talking about how on Fox News, they're calling these things weapons of mass destruction. Now, if you don't know, Fox News is state-controlled media. They are not allowed to have an opinion that paints the Fuhrer in a bad light. It is fully and 100% controlled by the government. That is irrefutable fact. If you disagree with me, you're wrong and stupid. So Fox News is saying, like, well, if you really think about it, you know, fentanyl it's a weapon of mass destruction. The amount of fucking people on it's killing. I mean, left and right, different Fox News guys were saying that. And now the president of the United States, the Fuhrer, has officially signed an executive order that labels fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. Now, what's funny about this is they're using this as a springboard to launch the invasion of Venezuela, because they keep on claiming that fentanyl is coming in from Venezuela. Now, what's funny about that is it's not. Fentanyl, excuse me, I have to burp. Whoa! Fentanyl is made in China. It is then shipped over to South America and funneled in primarily through Mexico, right? Now, that is with Mexican cartels who are working hand in hand with American cartels in Texas, the Lone Star State. Now, if you don't know this, between 80 and 90% of all fentanyl, or all drugs that are seized at the southern border, are taken off of American citizens who have been apprehended, right? Now, this is according to Border Patrol. This is according to the DEA's own data. This isn't like my opinion or anything. And why is that? Well, American citizens get less scrutiny when they cross the border. They're American citizens. They can go back and forth for all different sorts of reasons. It's far easier for an American citizen to smuggle in that shit. And what they do is they get a bunch of guns, usually legal weapons. They head over to Mexico. They swap those weapons for drugs. They come back up and then they sell those drugs for money. That's the problem. Now, I wanted to show you this. I know this is an AI overview, but you can go into more detail on this. Virtually no illicit fentanyl comes from Venezuela. Even the DEA says that. The DEA and other international experts say that Venezuela plays no significant role in the production or trafficking of fentanyl that affects the United States of America. Now, that doesn't mean much to Donald Trump because Trump just did this.
Fentanyl flooding into our country. With this historic executive order I will sign today, we're formally classifying fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction, which is what it is. No bomb does what this is doing. 200 to 300,000 people die every year.
Hey, dumb fuck. We killed like 200 to 300,000 people in the moment, in a flash in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. You stupid fucking idiot.
That we know of. So we're formally classifying fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction.
Now, if you don't know, another weapon of mass destruction, if you wanted an example, would be a nuke, hydrogen bomb, atom bomb. Those are weapons of mass destruction. So now, my pocket fent here, my pocket fent is actually a WMD.
But before I sign the fentanyl order, we will...
All right, whatever. The rest of that doesn't fucking matter. But what does matter is this is official. We are on whitehouse.gov here. Fact sheet. President Donald J. Trump designates fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction.
Today, President Donald J. Trump signed an executive order designating illicit fentanyl and its core precursor chemical as weapons of mass destruction. The order directs the Attorney General to immediately pursue criminal charges, sentencing enhancements, and sentencing variances in fentanyl trafficking cases. Well, you're not pursuing criminal charges, you're murdering them. Just murdering them. Like you're firing Hellfire missiles off of the coast of Trinidad and Tobago and bombing fishermen. You're not arresting anybody. You couldn't even tell me the names of the people that you've killed because you fucking vaporized them before identifying them. You stupid fuck. Stopping fentanyl from poisoning our people. President Trump is unleashing every available tool against the cartels and foreign networks that have turned fentanyl into the leading cause of death for Americans aged 18 to 45. Do you know what the leading cause of death for American children is? Guns. Did you know that? The leading cause of death is guns. Fucking joke. We're going to do nothing about that. Anyway, so that's the official from the White House. Do hospitals have the right to sell WMDs? Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen to all of our nurses? So something I wanted to show you here is this. All we are doing is making the cartels come up with more potent and powerful forms of the drug to smuggle. This is from the Cato Institute. His fear is that more cartels will shift drug production away from cocaine, a risky but far less lethal street drug, and will pivot to dealing deadlier synthetic substances such as fentanyl, methamphetamines, and nitazines that can be produced and smuggled more easily. The added risk makes it necessary for them to do that, Singer said. The Trump regime's national security strategy released last month elevated the fight against, quote, narco-terrorists to a key Defense Department priority, calling for, quote, the use of lethal force to replace the failed law enforcement-only strategy. So this is just fancy words to say we are done with arresting people and we are just going to extrajudicially murder them. That is now the official stance of the United States Defense Department. We are now a pirate nation where we will just murder people on the high seas without any sort of criminal charges, without any evidence that they have committed a crime, anything like that. Now, at the same time, Trump is defending these murders. Like, I know that we keep on saying that what Pete Hegseth did is a war crime, but we're not at war with Venezuela. Congress didn't declare war. Trump can say it all he wants, and he will say it in this clip, but every one of those deaths was a murder. They weren't combatants. So what that means is that Pete Hegseth and Admiral Bradley and every single one of those people, sailors who was clicking the buttons to fire those missiles, they are serial killers. That's not hyperbole. We've killed 80 plus people on those fishing boats. Everybody who was involved in that is literally, by definition, a serial killer that needs to be thrown in Fort Leavenworth for the rest of their fucking life. Okay? Get a look.
If it is found that survivors were actually killed while clinging on to that boat, should Secretary Hegseth, Admiral Bradley, or others be punished?
I think you're going to find that this is war.
Okay, so again, he's saying it's war. So two things. One, we're not at war. Congress hasn't declared war. Two, to every single bootlicking MAGA chud who's like, no, we're not going to war with Venezuela. Well, now your own fucking Fuhrer is saying that we are. So I would love if you got on your hands and knees and ate my shitty asshole, because you're a stupid fuck.
These people were killing our people by the millions, actually, if you look over a few years. I think last year we lost close to 300,000 people were killed.
What I find hilarious is that Trump thinks that, let's just say in this world where you hypothetically took out every single fucking cartel leader and there's no more illegal drug trade for fentanyl. Do you think addicts are just going to stop being addicts? I'm an addict. I haven't done drugs in over 10 years, but I have my sobriety date tattooed on my ribs. I used to be a hardcore drug addict. I had to go to like fucking rehab and shit, but I'm sober. I'll tell you right now, you take me back to when I was an addict, I had dealers that died. I still got my drugs. I just found a new dealer. Do you really think that destroying the cartel will stop drug addicts from getting their drugs? Because if you do, you're a fucking idiot. The problem, there's a root to the problem of drug addiction. It's education, it's poverty. It's not the cartels themselves, motherfucker. That's not the way it works.
That's not mentioning last year we lost close to 300,000 people were killed. That's not mentioning all the families. Have you seen what happens with the families of not only the people killed, the people that are trying to get their son or their daughter off of this poison that they've been fed?
Yeah, you know why they got on that poison, you stupid bastard? Well, we have an overprescription problem in the United States. Some fucking 16-year-old high school football player will fuck up his foot, and then he'll get prescribed Oxycontin, and then he'll get addicted to that Oxycontin. He'll run out of that Oxycontin, and he'll turn to the nearest street version of it, which is either going to be black tar heroin or Fent, right? This is a problem with education, poverty, and overprescription of opioids here in the United States of America. It needs to be fixed here. It's an at-home problem.
I think you're going to find that there's a very receptive ear to doing exactly what they're doing, taking out those boats. And very soon we're going to start doing it on land too, because we know every route, we know every house, we know where they manufacture this crap, we know where they put it all together. And I think you're going to see it very soon on land also. Yeah, please.
Okay, so we're going to start bombing the Venezuelan land.
You support the decision to kill survivors after the initial
No, I support the decision to knock out the boats. And whoever's piloting those boats, most of them are gone. But whoever are piloting those boats, they're guilty of trying to kill people in our country. Yep.
So I wanted to show you one last thing, which is friend of the show, Adam Kinzinger, former Republican congressman. Adam, if you ever watch this, how are you? We should get lunch again. Adam was a pilot. He was in the Air Force, right? And he's had to do many of these fucking missions. And what he's about to tell you is common sense. Like, let me ask you something. Before we even watch this, if you have like a top dog terrorist, right? Like a high ranking fucking terrorist, or let's say a Sicario, right? Sure, maybe, and you know their location, sure, maybe you could take them out and that would help with your mission, right? But if you find a low-ranking drug runner or, you know, like a run-of-the-mill terrorist, right? And your mission is to find the top dog, why wouldn't you capture them? Capture them, interrogate them, get intel from them. Information is power, and then you can climb the fucking ranks, right? Like, dude, I don't know how many of you used to do drugs back in the day, but you get fucking arrested for doing some drugs. You know what the cops ask you? Who'd you get the drugs from? Who'd you buy it from? Because they want to get that guy and then say the same thing to him. And then the next guy, and then the next guy. And they want to make their way from the drug dealers to the drug suppliers, right? This is fucking common sense. This is basic shit. And it's not like I'm a fucking genius. It's not like Adam's a fucking genius. But nowadays, I think more and more run-of-the-mill Americans are genuinely fucking brain-dead idiots, so you might be a genius if you believe what I believe. So let's listen to Adam say it in much better words than I could.
Thinking of something, I flew the RC-26 in Iraq. Probably haven't heard of the plane. It's a reconnaissance plane. We basically find bad guys, work with the Special Ops Command. That's the plane right there. It's pretty cool. But anyway, you know, our job in the height of the surge in Iraq was to go find some of these high-level people that are on the wanted list. So these would be, I don't know, head of different groups, right? Like very high-profile people that we need to get. And we'd go out. We'd have our mission set of people.
Bro. Just like me, bro. He's trying to fight back a goddamn burp because he's got GERD.
We need to get, and it would either be a kill mission or a capture mission. So yes, there were times we'd go out and they would say, "Look, if you find this person, you know, we're gonna kill him." But a lot of the times it was, we're gonna capture, right? So what's the reason I say that? Because with these boats, the boats in the Caribbean, it was always preferable to capture, not always, but in many cases, to capture the person because you could get intelligence from them. You could actually, if you capture somebody, then you could see who they're talking to.
Oh, dude, are you telling me that if you don't kill somebody, you can ask them questions? Huh. I never thought about that. See, I kept on bombing these people and then going up to their mangled corpses with their arms over there and their legs over there, and I go, "Who's your dealer?" And they don't respond. And I was wondering why they weren't responding, and now that you mention it, it's probably because they're dead.
Talking to who they're working with, and you can kind of grow that network out of people that you need to go after. The same thing is true for boats and drugs, right? So the whole story about blowing up these boats instead of interdicting them like we've done for years, interdicting, you know, you'll shoot out the engine and then have a Coast Guard cutter or a Navy vessel come and get the boat. It just doesn't make sense, like why we're doing it this way. Anyway, it was just something to think about. Like, my experience with the U.S. military was it is preferable to capture unless there was a great danger in it. And I'll tell you, these drug running boats for the U.S. military, is not something they fear. So I don't know why they're doing it.
I do. They're doing it because they're trying to set a precedent. The precedent that they're trying to set is that if we label you as a terrorist, we can kill you on the spot. No court date, no arrest, no due process, no hearing, no trial, no nothing. And if you set the precedent with a foreign, quote-unquote, drug cartel, then by the time that violence makes its way home to the United States of America and we start rounding up and killing dissidents of the regime who we have labeled as terrorists, well, the bar has been set. Now we're greased up. Now we're used to murdering fucking terrorists. So that's how you set the precedent and get people prepared for it.
Maybe it's just to look tough. Maybe it's another reason. Curious what you think.
All right. So, Donald Trump has labeled fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. This is all a ploy in order to launch the ground invasion of Venezuela. If you're watching this and you are a GI, get ready to go fight and die in the jungles of Venezuela. I hope you have a great fucking time. We here in the United States of America will not support you at all. I do not support you. If you are ordered to go to Venezuela and you don't refuse those orders, I have no sympathy for you. Good luck. Have fun. See what happens. Other than that, it seems like the rest of America understands. It's like a 9% approval rating for this war in Venezuela. None of us want to go. None of us want to be a part of this. It's all to harvest oil for some fucking... main reason here, I want to tell you, the reason why we're targeting the oil in Venezuela is because Israel is going to attack Iran again. And Iran's probably going to retaliate by annexing the Strait of Hormuz, which is where most of the Middle Eastern oil flow goes through. And essentially, our oil trade from Saudi Arabia and the Middle East is not going to be reliable once Israel tries to attack Iran. Iran retaliates, and then Israel ends up fucking nuking Tehran. I hope I'm not right, but I usually fucking am. I do think that Israel's going to try to nuke Iran probably in the next year. Other than that, thank you very much. We got more videos to cover. If you're here live, you stay. We got to keep on fucking going. If you're watching this pre-recorded on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. This is real independent media. I've never had a conversation with an advertiser, a billionaire, or a government. So if you want to support this channel financially, please do. You could buy merch like the Democratic Socialist poster or the Constitusi mug, all available down below. You can click the thanks button down below to tip me directly. You can click the join button down below to become a member, and you can become a patron on Patreon. Thank you very much for 136,000 subscribers. And do me one last favor. Click that video over there. It's a banger, and I know bangers. All right, that's a good one. Let's get that uploaded. Let's make a thumbnail for it, get that uploaded, and then move on to the next story. All right, so we're gonna need Trump Fent WMD. Ah, oh, damn, that picture's owned. How about this one? Yeah, that's the one. Episode 326. Do you do collabs with viewers? I don't know what you mean. Why would I collab with a viewer? They would have to, you know, like have I'd have to have a reason to collaborate. Okay. I saw a video of Palestinian kids singing Bella Ciao. Made me cry. All right. Have this say,
They have WMDs. Oh, yeah, no, definitely collab with Shag. They have WMDs. Fent is nukes. Fent is nukes. Invade Venezuela. Oh, Kristen, read my message correctly. Oh, it says OF collaboration one. Oh, you're twisted. You're twisted. Sick fuck you are. I will be making an OnlyFans when I hit 1 million subs on YouTube. That's not a joke. You know, Maddie and I are very down to provide you with content. What? Oh, yeah. ODEF. 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 It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Have you ever fought for your nation? No. Well, actually, I would say this is fighting for my nation, yeah. I guess, yeah. No, I'm fighting for my nation right now. I'm fighting tooth and nail to try and save my fucking nation. Problem is, my nation is fighting against itself. Anyway, title. Trump labels fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. Trump designates fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. We are invading Venezuela. Parentheses, I told you so. Trump labels Fent as a WMD in order to manufacture consent for regime change in Venezuela. See how it starts. All right. No, there is no AI generated content. Sensitive event dealing with war, death, and tragedy. No, it doesn't matter if you impeach Trump. We've already impeached Trump twice. He didn't step down. New cut. King Donald has labeled fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction.
Acknowledge, confirm. Bang. All right, that's done. Let's make an advertisement. Okay. No, the DSA is not a political party. It's a private organization. Okay. So, King don't... God damn it. So, King Donald labeled fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction, just like nuclear weapons. Apparently, they're the same fucking level of devastation, and the stupidest family member is going to... So, oh, wait, hold on. Let me start that fresh. So King Donald has labeled fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. It's on the same level as nuclear weapons now, and your stupidest uncle is going to cheer for that, going, well, if you really think about it, it really is a weapon of mass destruction. So I guess that means every single hospital in the United States of America is harboring weapons of mass destruction, and every single nurse and doctor is a terrorist for administering it? Is that what you're saying? Because that is what you're saying. So he signed an executive order that labels fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction, and you got to understand the reasoning for this. The reason he's doing this is because he is desperate for a reason to manufacture consent for the invasion of Venezuela. We are going to invade Venezuela. He said it himself. We're going to begin land strikes very soon. Your opinion doesn't fucking matter. If you disagree with me, you're wrong and stupid. Pete Hegseth is a serial killer, and we have murdered like 80-plus fishermen off of the coast of Venezuela. Some of them are even not from Venezuela. They're from Trinidad and Tobago, but that doesn't fucking matter because Trump's official stance now is that if you are labeled as a terrorist, we can just extrajudicially murder you on the spot. The point for this is to set the precedent that if you're labeled as a terrorist, they can just kill you on the spot. Now, they're doing it to a foreign quote-unquote drug cartel in order to grease you up for when that violence makes its way back to the homeland and they label any dissidents of the regime as terrorists so that they can kill us on the spot. That is the entire point. Again, if you disagree with me, you're wrong and stupid. I have a whole new YouTube video on this. Go check it out. New YouTube video. If you're triggered, please comment below. Tell me you're triggered. Duet it, stitch it, do all you got to do. I really love when you fucking bootlickers get really fucking triggered and worked up and go, we're not going to war! Stop saying that! Go have fun fighting and dying in the jungles of Venezuela. I'll be cheering for you. New YouTube video, 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 new YouTube video. So King Donald has labeled fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. Trump labels fent as a WMD. New YouTube video. Get that up. Banger. All right, we got to get that on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Instagram. Haha, spaz, cringe. Yeah. Spaz and cringe while I'm making more money than your fucking dad sitting in my own office. Spaz and cringe, bitch. I'm going to be your president in like 8 years. I hope you understand that. Get this uploaded on YouTube Shorts. I did see the Piers Morgan interview with Nick Fuentes. I made a video reviewing it that I put on Patreon, but I'll probably be able to cover it again later. We have a lot to cover today. We just banged out one of, I think, 7 categories. We have a lot of videos to make today. Still waiting. It's got to process. Excuse me. Another 6-hour stream. We'll see. We'll see how long we go. I just subbed. Came here from TikTok. See, that's why we make the ads. That's why we make the ads, folks. New episode of the Valenti VOD. Related video, that one, upload. Okay, and now it has to go on Instagram, and then we move on. See, there's a method to the madness, folks, and my method works. If you want to grow in popularity, if you want to do what I do, follow the Valenti method. Just follow my method, man. I show you everything I do. You watch me make the thumbnails. You watch me make the ad. You watch me make the video. You watch me do the little edit. You see the whole fucking thing. I am handing you a fucking blueprint. I'm handing you a blueprint. Just do it. I found you on Facebook. I've never posted a video on Facebook. Who the fuck is... What? New episode of the Valenti VOD. Anyway, this is almost done posting to Instagram, and then we could move on to the second topic. Yeah, Jack, you could post my shit on Facebook. You could take all that money. I don't give a fuck. I'm from and live in Italy. I used to watch your history videos, and now I'm locked with the American politics thanks to you. You better be locked into American politics, brother. We set the status quo, and then it makes its way over to Italy. There's a reason why you are dealing with a rise in fascism. It's because Italy learns from the United States. It's fucked up. Instagram automatically cross-posts to Facebook? Really? I didn't know that. Scotland forever! Canadian subscriber of Scotland, you right bastard. That was a little bit too Irish, wasn't it? Does Nick Fuentes have gay allegations against him? It's not allegations. He's gay. I've seen a video of him getting his dick sucked by Destiny. On top of that, he's admitted to have dating a cat boy, like a boy who dresses as a cat. He dated him for a while. He's gay. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He also said himself, he goes, he finds women very difficult to be around. So, yeah, no, he's gay. Thanks for the $5. Yeah, a person I work for, found you on Facebook, sent videos of you to me every once in a while. Oh, that's pretty cool. All right, there we go. Ads are done. Ads are uploaded. Let's move on. It's common knowledge, I fear. I know. Very common knowledge. Now? You've seen the vid? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I had to confirm. All right. Now we got to move on to Trump and MAGA collapsing. Let's get these links queued up. All right, what do we have?
Republicans. A number of Republicans have denounced your statement on Truth Social after the murder of Rob Reiner. Do you stand by that post?
Well, I wasn't a fan of his at all. He was a deranged person as far as Trump is concerned. He said...
He's a deranged person as far as Trump is concerned. You're referring to yourself in the third person, you fucking psychopath. You fucking nut job. That is fucking deranged.
He knew it was false. In fact, it's the exact opposite, that I was a friend of Russia, controlled by Russia. You know, it was the Russia hoax. He was.
Oh my God! So Rob Reiner was making a show. I think it's called like The President and the Spy and the Kremlin, something like that. He was making a TV series about Trump and Russia and him being like an agent for them. I'm fully convinced that Trump ordered this assassination off of pure pettiness, pure fucking anger. I'm not even kidding. I genuinely think that Trump ordered this assassination.
He was one of the people behind it. I think he hurt himself in career-wise. He became like a deranged person, Trump derangement syndrome. So I was not a fan of Rob Reiner at all, in any way, shape, or form. I thought he was very bad for our country. Yeah.
Loose lips, Mr. President. Leader Thune doesn't seem.
A number of Republicans.
That's fucking outlandish. What else do we have? Republican lawmakers slamming Trump for his inappropriate posts. I don't want to subscribe for that, so we're not gonna. Trump's MAGA base is still behind him, but cracks are showing ahead of 2026. New NBC decision poll shows a majority of American adults think the country's on the wrong track. 42% approve, 58% disapprove. That's nationwide. Let's see. Do you consider yourself more a part of the MAGA movement or more a supporter of the Republican Party? It is now at 50%, dude. Holy shit. Asking self-identified Republicans. Republicans are afraid to label themselves as MAGA anymore because it's embarrassing. That's fucking huge. That is insane. This number was at something like 85% back in the day.
Let me put in perspective.
And then this is leaked audio from the RNC chair.
But let me put in perspective. Only 3 times in the last 100 years has the incumbent party been successful.
This guy's so ugly. Oh my God. This is one of the ugliest people I've ever seen in my entire fucking life, bar none.
Successful winning a midterm.
Wow.
4 times in the last 150. We're facing almost certain defeat. But let me put in perspective.
We're facing almost certain defeat. Thank you for the $10. Imagine being MAGA right now. I can't imagine being MAGA because I don't have a mental disability, so I really can't imagine it. ACA shoppers face sticker shock as Congress dithers on health care. Lawmakers are still debating whether to extend the subsidies that have given consumers extra help. Circumstances that led to deep consumer... Let's see. Half of current enrollees who are registered said that their overall health expenses, copays, deductibles, and premiums increased by $1,000 next year. It would have a major impact on whether they would vote next year's midterm elections on which party's candidate they support. That's huge. Her plan will increase to $1,200 a month from $180 this year. That's insane. From $180 to $1,200 is fucking nuts. Let's see. $33% drop in new enrollments. People are horrified, dude. People are horrified to sign up for healthcare right now. Keep seeing people saying it'll be cheaper. Oh, well, those people are stupid, dude. There's no point in even arguing with that. Don't need that one. Congress races against the clock to avert skyrocketing healthcare costs for millions. Expected to allow an amendment to extend the ACA credits that come to the floor. Swing states Republicans like Brian Fitzpatrick of Pennsylvania seek to force a vote on the issue. Keep Jeffreystown cold water on the GOP healthcare plan. They don't have a healthcare plan. Republicans have pushed that we would put money in the patient's pocket so that she has something to pay the out-of-pocket. Democrats are saying let's do something about premiums. I think, Dana, there's a deal that could be made. Why don't we do both? Yeah, this could all be avoided with single-payer healthcare. The Republicans voted against this 13 times. Jesus Christ. Charlie Kirky. I just bought the perky. Charlie Kirky. I just bought. All right, so what do we got here?
I am an IDF combat veteran. I fully support socialism in the United States. We Israelis think socialism would fix the American entitlement problems. Right now, dude, we pay for your fucking healthcare. So, if I'm being totally honest, bro, I don't even want to hear it. Are you a Zionist? Zev Ben, are you a Zionist? You a Zionist, Zev Ben? Come on. Come on. Be brave. Be brave. Live at the West Bank. Oh, okay. Ban this guy. He's a Nazi. I wish you ill. Genuinely. I hope you get ill. Fuck off, Nazi. Disgusting. Disgusting. Fucking disgusting, bro. All right. Oh, so doubles down on Rob Reiner. His approval rating is plummeting. They're going to lose. And then all right, we got a video here. Let's do it. Here we go. Video 2, y'all ready? You ready? You ready? The MAGA movement is crashing and burning. I know I've told you many times that the MAGA movement is collapsing, but like we have essentially reached the bitter end. There's very, very, very little support of Donald Trump. Granted, he is a cult leader, so there he does have a small group of cultists that will literally never abandon him, and I do mean like literally. Trump could come to their house and shoot their mother in the face, and they will still support him. There are at least 20 to 30% of his voters who think he's actually a god. Like, we're not talking about sane individuals. We're talking about people who have mental disabilities, who believe in the rapture, and they believe in QAnon, and they genuinely think that Donald Trump is like a messenger sent by God in order to bring about this Christian nationalist nation. So those people will never abandon him. But we're starting to see polling coming out that, like, among Republicans, only 50% of Republicans identify as MAGA. I think you need to understand that, like, there was a moment where that was at 85%, okay? Like, early on, like, during Trump's, like, first term, right? 85% of Republicans identified as MAGA, and now it is all the way down to 50, not to mention his recent polling that gives him 31% approval rating among Americans on the economy, right? The entire thing is crashing and burning. Plus, you're seeing the rise of Nick Fuentes. You're seeing the rise of these Groypers, these Nazis, right? The MAGA civil war has reached its boiling point where they're going at each other's necks, and Trump is not doing himself any fucking favors because the run-of-the-mill Republicans, right? The run-of-the-mill Republicans, they're disgusted with not only his failure to come up with a healthcare plan, but also his just straight up psychopathic behavior. So as we know, Rob Reiner died 2 days ago, and then immediately Trump went on the attack and said that Rob Reiner deserved to die because he had Trump derangement syndrome, and that if he didn't hate me so much, or sorry, Trump said if he didn't hate Trump so much that Rob Reiner wouldn't have died. I'm starting to believe, and I have no evidence of this, that Donald Trump literally ordered this assassination because he's a petty, petulant child, and Rob Reiner was making a TV series about Trump and Russia, like, colluding together, and how Trump is like a fucking asset for the Russians. I'm genuinely starting to believe that. I have no evidence of this. This is all alleged. It's my opinion, but I'm an American. I'm entitled to my fucking opinion. But the Rob Reiner stuff is starting to come back to bite him in the ass. Republicans, we covered the comments below his post on Truth Social, right? Those aren't run-of-the-mill Republicans. Those are Trump cultists, and even they were saying that was too far. Trump
cultists, the ones who have Truth Social accounts who comment on all of his fucking videos were saying it was too far. So now the average Republican is turning against him, the enlightened centrists are turning against him, and he fucking doubled down. He got asked about this and he doubled down. Get a look at this.
A number of Republicans have denounced your statement on Truth Social after the murder of Rob Reiner. Do you stand by that post?
Well, I wasn't a fan of his at all. He was a deranged person as far as Trump is concerned. He said
he was a deranged person as far as Trump is concerned, and that is Trump talking, referring to himself in the third person. Hey, fat boy, that's fucking deranged. That's absolutely fucking deranged, dude. That's psychopathic behavior.
He knew it was false. In fact, it's the exact opposite, that I was a friend of Russia, controlled by Russia. You know, it was the Russia hoax. He was one of the people behind it. I think he hurt himself in career-wise. He became like a deranged person, Trump derangement syndrome. So I was not a fan of Rob Reiner at all, in any way, shape, or form. I thought he was very bad for our country. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So that he doubles down on that, and he faces scrutiny left and right. Now I want to show you some of these pollings, or some of the polling. So this is a NBC News poll. The question is, do you consider yourself more a part of the MAGA movement or more a supporter of the Republican Party? And they only asked self-identified Republicans. This has now split to 50-50. Now don't fool yourself into thinking that only 50% of the Republicans or the identified Republicans voted for Donald Trump. No, I would be willing to bet that 100% of these people voted for Donald Trump, but now it has become so embarrassing to admit that you are a Trump supporter that they're not even fucking doing it anymore. Like, this is a terrible, terrible fucking poll. An insanely bad poll for Donald. Now, I want to show you that this is getting so bad. A leaked audio came out. This is the RNC chair, the Republican National Committee. He's also the ugliest man I've ever had the unfortunate necessity to lay eyes on. I'm not even kidding. I've never seen a chin like that. I call it like a double chin, but I think that it has replaced the first one. It is just the biggest, fattest fucking chin I've ever seen in my life. But this is leaked audio of him saying that we are facing certain defeat. Get a look.
But let me put in perspective, only 3 times in the last 100 years has the incumbent party been successful winning a midterm. Wow. 4 times in the last 150. We're facing almost certain defeat.
We are facing almost certain defeat. Now, this goes back to what I was telling you earlier, how 20 plus Republican lawmakers are resigning. They're not seeking re-election in the midterms. And why is that? Well, A, they know they're going to lose. It's going to be certain defeat because Donald Trump's presidency is horrendous. He's the worst president in American history. Excuse me. Donald Trump is the worst president in American history. If you disagree with me, you're wrong and stupid. And these Republican congressmen and House of Representatives and senators, they didn't sign up to be little cucks to the Fuhrer. They signed up because they wanted power. They wanted the power of being an elected official, and they wanted to pass their heinous ideas. And now they can't because Donald Trump is a Fuhrer. He's not a president. He rules through royal decree on Truth Social. He doesn't rule through the checks and balances and the separation of powers. So if you're a Republican, your job is to get on your hands and knees and suck Donald Trump's crunchy dick. Meanwhile, your constituents are going to blame you for all the terrible shit that he does because you are their representative. On top of that, the pay is shit. Now, for you and I, the pay is not shit. It's like, what, $200,000 or something like that? But to these people who are used to corporate donations, the $200K that they make is nothing compared to the millions and millions and millions of dollars that they make from their donors, right? So they're all resigning because what the fuck is the point anymore? It's literally like you're witnessing the actual end of the Republican Party in and of itself. And one of the main reasons is because of the ACA subsidies. Moments after all but 4 Senate Republicans voted against advancing a bill to extend the ACA subsidies for 3 years last week. So what does that mean? That means that everybody who is on the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare, which is something like 20 million Americans, all of us are going to see our premiums quadruple. Okay, we're talking about literally going from paying something like $300 a year to paying $1,200 a year. Sorry, not a year, a month. $300 a month to paying $1,200 a month. Okay, we're talking about an additional something like $15,000 bill per year for the average American living off of the Affordable Care Act. Now, the Republicans, they don't have a healthcare plan. They want you to die. That's not a joke. They want you to get sick and die. That way they don't need to use money on social safety nets for you, and they can use that money to cut the taxes for the billionaire class, the 1%. That is literally their plan. So what they just did was the Senate Republicans voted against advancing a bill to extend the ACA subsidies for 3 years. Immediately, Chuck Schumer and Apac Shakur, also known as Hakeem Jeffries, they said, well, this is all on the GOP now. So it seems like the Democrats' plan was to allow the Republicans to slaughter health care so that the American people will feel the suffering and go, I can't fucking believe you're actually doing this. Now, does that mean that the Democrats are throwing us all on the chopping block to be a sacrificial lamb? Yes, it does. Is that fucked up? Yes, it is. Is it the only method? Is it the only approach? Yeah, it is. I'm American. I'm used to having to choose between a dog shit option and an even bigger dog shit option, so I'm not very surprised by this. Anyway, that's all I got for you for this video. The MAGA civil war is raging. Donald Trump's approval rating is plummeting. He's doubling down on saying Rob Reiner deserved to die because he didn't like Donald Trump. The Republicans want you to die. They want to take away your healthcare premiums, and they hope that you go bankrupt. And all of this is because Republicans are inferior. Their entire ideology is inferior. I need you to understand that. That's not hyperbole. I'm not joking. I'm not trying to be edgy. No, Republican ideas, conservative ideas throughout all of history have only led to regression. There has never once been a successful Republican movement. They have all failed. There's never been a successful fascist movement. They have all failed. The only way forward for this nation is progressive values. We need to be raising the taxes in the 1% so that we can use that money to create things like affordable housing, affordable health care, in my eyes, free health care, universal basic income, better social safety nets, faster trains, better bridges, better roads. But no, instead, all of your fucking money goes to Israel. Yay! Don't forget, this is real independent media. I never had a conversation with an advertiser, a billionaire, or a government. So if you do want to support this channel financially, please do. You could buy merch like the Constitusi mug or the Democratic Socialist poster located down below. You can click the thanks button down below to tip me directly. You can click the join button down below to become a member, and you can become a patron on Patreon. Thank you very much for 136,000 subscribers. Do me one last favor. Click that video over there. It's a banger, and I know bangers. It's a good one, yeah? That's a banger. Nice and short. Did you happen to support Andrew Yang? No. All right, so that's a good little banger. Let's get that one uploaded. We're going to need a good picture. Nice and short? Yeah, it was 9 minutes. It's nice and short. All right, we're going to go with that. Canva. Absolute banger. Right, yeah, fucking hell. It's an absolute fucking banger. Trump. I did. We have then one of those segments we're going to be covering is going to be more of the Trump stuff. Or the Epstein stuff, my apologies. Trump. Give me that. Episode 327. Okay, polling plummet. Market failure.
crashing stocks. There we go. Yeah, that's better. Get rid of that. This will be the background. I'm gonna need me laughing at the fucker. Okay, all right, we need 3 of these. First one. It's over, fat boy. All right, we've got It's Over, Fat Boy. Everyone hates Trump. Thank you for the $5. My girlfriend and you turned me from a center-right ignorant to a socialist in the last 2 years doing God's work. Brother, you don't know how much that fucking means to me, bro. I could make nothing from this. I could make no money from this and no clout from this, but as long as I turn one fucking person from being some hateful, Islamophobic, anti-Semitic piece of shit into like an actual servant of the people, then it's all worth it, man. Then it's all fucking worth it. Thank you. Okay, and then the third and final one will be... Nah. Crash and burn. Valenti, what profession did you learn in your life? Like, what jobs did you have before streaming? I've been an actor since I was a kid. But I've been a pizza delivery man. I used to translate legal documents from English to Spanish at the New York Public Library for, like, undocumented immigrants who were trying to get their civilian status. I was a bartender. I was a sous chef. What else? I was a regular cook. I worked for an advertising agency. What else? Oh, I was a deli meat slicer, like at Whole Foods. I used to slice the deli meat. What the job did you like the most? Probably being a sous chef. I like being a sous chef. All right, let's get this uploaded. Everyone hates Trump. Crash and burn. It's over, fat boy. All right, title. MAGA is officially over. Trump's own cultists. Trump's cult is abandoning him. Trump doubles down on Rob Reiner. Comments. MAGA is officially over. Trump's cult is abandoning him. I love to watch the MAGA civil war unfold. It truly is a beautiful sight. Let's get this in the Valenti VOD playlist. See how it starts.
I know I've told you many times that the MAGA movement is collapsing, but
Perfect.
like we
publish. All right, let's make an advertisement. Let's make an advertisement, gang.
So the MAGA movement is crashing and burning. There's a new poll coming out of NBC News where they asked identified Republicans, self-identified Republicans, whether they identify as MAGA or whether they identify as a Republican. And it is now 50-50. And I know that is like, Chris, what do you mean? That's not a big deal. No, that's a huge deal because that number was at somewhere between 80 and 90% back during Trump's first term, okay? People are embarrassed to call themselves MAGA. Rightfully. It's a very embarrassing thing to support this fucking bumbling, dementia-ridden fucking idiot who is warmongering with like 8 different nations and then is claiming that I've actually stopped 8 wars when you can't name a single fucking war that Donald Trump has ended. You can't name a single fucking conflict that he has ended, but I can name multiple conflicts that he has started, multiple conflicts that he has threatened, multiple nations that he has bombed, multiple war crimes that he has committed. On top of that, he's doubling down on his heinous, fucked up comments about Rob Reiner deserving to die because Rob Reiner didn't support Donald Trump. And we've got leaked audio from the RNC chair who is saying, oh no, we are facing imminent defeat in 2026, which is why 20-plus Republican lawmakers are resigning instead of seeking re-election. Because they signed up for power. They didn't sign up to be a cuck to the fucking Fuhrer. And now, because a Fuhrer is ruling through fucking royal decree posted on Truth Social, their constituents are blaming them, the elected official, who doesn't have any fucking power anymore. So they're saying, why the fuck would I do this? Fuck this, I'm resigning. So MAGA is collapsing. It is the bitter end. If you disagree with me, you're wrong and fucking stupid. If you're triggered by me, please tell me you're triggered. Comment, share, duet, stitch this. I love when you get fucking triggered. You go, no we're not! MAGA's not collapsing! We're stronger than ever! I love that shit. I love that shit. New YouTube video all about this. Go check it out. Go check it out. New YouTube video, new YouTube video, new YouTube video, new YouTube video, new YouTube video.
Okay. MAGA is over. New YouTube video. All right. We need that to post on all 3 platforms. And in the meantime, we will get together our links for the next one. So we've got through Trump and MAGA collapsing. We've gotten through the Venezuela oil war update, Ukraine war news. I'm skipping the Ukraine shit. Doesn't fucking matter. Let's see. Like sometimes you just have to wait for things to reach a boiling point. Right now, it's a whole lot of nothing when it comes to Ukraine. Let's get this uploaded to YouTube Shorts. Israel breaks the ceasefire. Again, I don't really think that's news. We all fucking know that. Yeah, I really don't consider this to be news. It's literally standard issue, run-of-the-mill Israeli behavior.
Make me a mod, please. No. Caption your short. New episode of the Valenti VOD. Related video. That one. Upload. Okay, now we got to get it on Instagram. I've always loved history, but I genuinely fell in love with this VOD because of Chris. Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, all I've ever wanted to do is provide a place for people to consume the news where they don't feel tremendous anxiety and then tune out of the news because of that anxiety. And then they end up, you know, uneducated, unaware of what's going on. No shit. Learn how to take a joke. I literally just said the word no. Why are you so fucking butthurt? You said, make me a mod, please. I said no, and then I kept talking. Why are you so fucking emotional, dude? Jesus Christ. New episode of the Valenti VOD. Was there ever actually a real ceasefire? No. When Israel says ceasefire, they mean cease while I fire. That is literally what Israel means. They mean you stop, you cease, and we fire. That is what they mean. Just so you know, Israel has violated like 6,000 ceasefires throughout their existence. That's not even a joke. Somewhere between like 4,000 and 6,000. Yes, I was replying to a person talking to me about plumbers. Ah, my bad. See, this is why I don't respond to so many chatters, because I often assume that you guys are talking to me and you're talking to each other. Come on. Didn't Israel attack Yemen recently? Probably. Chris doesn't love me. That's why he never replies to me. Come on, Valenti Simp. You know I fucking love you. I put your videos on my fucking story sometimes. I have to take such a fat shit, too. That's the thing, man. That's the thing about streaming. How are you supposed to shit? How are you supposed to shit? All right. Ads are done. I think we got to talk about the Bondi Beach shooting, right? I think we got to talk about Australia and their shooting, yeah? Right? We got some links here. Let's get these queued up. All right, what do we got? We got updates on the shooter. ISIS ideology. The father and son suspects accused of carrying out the Hanukkah massacre were motivated by Islamic State ideology, according to Australia's leader. CNN has learned that Sajid and Naveed Akram recently traveled to an island in the Philippines known for Islamic insurgency. Naveed on an Australian passport and Sajid, who was originally from India, on an Indian passport. I just got to know where these guys are from. Because I'm getting conflicting stuff. Some people have said that these were fucking IDF soldiers. I don't believe that. I don't know if that's true. Yeah, I don't think that's true. Is it true that one of the shooters is former IDF? I don't think so. One from India. Yeah, I don't think they're in the IDF. Yeah, no, they weren't in the IDF. What do we got here? Bondi Beach shooting. Islamic State flags found in the suspect's car after shooting that killed 15. Officials are considering further tightening the country's strict gun laws after what they said the terrorist attack targeting Jewish people celebrating Hanukkah. All right, I want to see. Do we have? Yeah, we have the hero. Oh! Legend shit, brother. Fuck yeah, brother. Oh, fuck yeah, brother. And I love that, like, they're already going hardcore Islamophobia, saying, like, this is what happens when you let Muslims in your nation. Meanwhile, this guy here, the fucking hero, was also a fucking Muslim. Okay? I mean, it just, like, I'll never understand. Like, dude, Christians shoot up schools and churches. And you know who sometimes stops them? Like a cop. The cop's Christian. So, like, what are we saying? Are we saying that Christians shoot up schools or Christians stop school shootings? The same way that, like, you're watching Shore, there's a Muslim who's shooting up a whole bunch of people, and then a fucking Muslim stops him. It's so, like, I'll never be able to understand the disconnect from reality, to be able to see the actions of a person and then put that blame onto a religion that has over 1 billion people. There's over 1 billion Muslims on this planet. It makes no fucking sense to me. It makes no fucking sense to me. Never has. Never fucking has. Anyway. So we get the updates. We get the video, the hero.
In Australia, and I want to be clear, I'm actually a proponent of conceal and carry. I had a situation in Milwaukee you can read about if you Google it. And that made me a believer that, you know, good law-abiding citizens that know what they're doing and have some training should be able to carry. But listen, not because you want to show off, but just like to, you know, to protect yourself and your family. But this shooting in Australia today, I'm seeing so many of the folks on the right say things like, well, see, they have gun control and they still have shootings. So there's two big points with that. Number one, yeah, they had a big mass shooting. They don't have it every day. The U.S.
This is their first mass shooting in 30 fucking years, guys. This is Australia's first mass shooting in 30 years. We in the United States have multiple mass shootings every single day.
Averages like 1.1 mass shootings a day. Australia, it's a big deal because they don't have them that much. Secondly, and I've heard a lot of people say, well, if the people around them had guns, it could have stopped this. Possible. It's possible.
That's not true. And also, we know that it's somewhere between 70 and 80% of all mass shootings that are stopped in action are stopped by unarmed civilians. The whole idea of a good guy with a gun is a myth. It's not real. There are very, very few cases of a good guy with a gun stopping a mass shooting. There are many, many cases of a fucking hero, a mother or a father who is like, I'm not letting my fucking kid die, bitch. And they charge the motherfucker, wrestle the gun out of his hand. That happens way more often. The whole idea of a good guy with a gun is a fucking myth.
Possible, but the terrorists were shooting with
bolt action
and shotguns, so they didn't have like ARs. These, you know, every time you squeeze the trigger, you fire a shot, so they couldn't get out maybe even a fifth or a tenth of the shots they could have with an AR. And so if you had a country that did not have gun control, like Australia has gun control, they would have been shooting with ARs.
Yep.
And so there would have been much more damage. So maybe they would have stopped it quicker, but the damage that would have been done before it was stopped was huge. Now, again, I'm actually an advocate for concealed carry, particularly in this country, because there are so many guns that, you know, you should be able to carry one if you know what you're doing. But
I mean, concealed carry is fine. I completely disagree when it comes to like universal concealed carry. I live in New York. There's literally like 8 million people in New York City. If every single person was allowed to have a pistol on their hip, it would be GTA.
At the same time, like, let's be honest about, you know, what happened today. Let's be honest about the fact that there are way too many shootings here. And to say somehow that Australia is in a bad place because they had one, that's not right. And then also just there was a hero that tackled the gunman. What an amazing hero. That's not something you see a lot. I've seen a lot of MAGA say that they would have done it, and I can promise you they wouldn't have. But anyway, that's my thoughts. Curious what you think. Put them in the comments. Take care.
All right, what else do we have? Australian Prime Minister rejects Netanyahu's linking of Palestine recognition to Bondi Beach attack. Jesus Christ. What was the question? Was that any link between that recognition of the massacre and Bondi? Australia's PM has rejected accusations. Australia's recognition of a Palestinian state earlier this year. Oh my God, that's so fucked up. I can't believe. PM Netanyahu said on Sunday that he rushed to blame the Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese for the Bondi Beach attack and suggested that Israel expects a global crackdown on anti-Semitism. This is an actual demon, by the way. This is not a human being. This is an actual demon sent by the fucking the lords of hell. American Jews sharply critical of Israel and Gaza. Post poll finds. Washington Post. Let's see. Do you think most American Jews say Israel's committed war crimes against Palestinians? 4 in 10 say Israel has committed a genocide. Do you think Israel has committed war crimes against Palestinians? 61%. All right, that's huge. What do we got about the Bondi Beach gunman? Originally from India. All right, we got the deets. Let's do it. Let's do it. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Thank you for the $2. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Chris, the shooter's real name isn't David Akam, but it's David Cohen, and he's actually an ex-IDF. Can you prove that to me? Can you give me a single fucking source, or are you just gonna say that? What's your source? Tell me your source, and I will look it up. What's your source? Tell me your source. His account on Facebook. Okay, so you're a fucking idiot. Never mind. Jesus Christ, dude. Oh my God, you're stupid. And it's dangerous. It's genuinely dangerous to be this fucking stupid. It's genuinely fucking dangerous to be this stupid. Oh. Oh my God, the link is the Hindustan Times, bro. This is not a credible fucking source, dude. This is not a credible fucking source. Oh my God. Oh. Anyway. The Hindustan Times, bro. The Hindustan Times. It's fucking crazy. Oh, it's Tuesday. All right, let's make a video. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, guys, we got to talk about this shooting in Australia at Bondi Beach. Mass shooting. I believe it's like, what, 30 fucking people were shot, 15 dead. It's insane. It's the first mass shooting in Australia in 30 years. And we need to talk about a couple of things. One, America's right-wing response to this is a twofold response. One, it is saying, this is what happens when you let Muslims into your nation, which is a fucking insane thing to say, considering there is over 1 billion Muslims on this planet. And not only was this the actions of 2 people, but one of the heroes who like ran in unarmed and tackled the gunman and took his gun away from him was also a fucking Muslim. So like, that never makes sense to me. And then the second thing that the right wing is doing is saying, this is proof that Australia's gun control doesn't work. Meanwhile, in America, we have at least one mass shooting every single day, and this is the first mass shooting in Australia in 30 fucking years. On top of that, these shooters were using bolt-action rifles and pump-action shotguns, so they were only able to hit 30 people and kill 15, when in reality, if this shit happened in America at an American beach, they would have a fucking AR-15 with a 30-round mag and 3 spare fucking mags, laying out shots left and right, probably take out a fucking 100 people, okay? So we got to talk about this. Also, this attack happened on the first day of Hanukkah. There was like ISIS flags found in this guy's truck. There's fucking stupid, dumbass motherfuckers who are like, actually, this guy's real name is David Cohen. He's an IDF soldier. Despite the fact that there is zero evidence of this, there is a Facebook post from the Hindustan Times, which is not a fucking credible post, saying, actually, this guy's real name is David Cohen. He's an IDF soldier. Until I see fucking evidence of that, I ain't gonna believe that shit. That is too personal. perfect. I would love that. I would love if this guy was fucking IDF. That way we could finally be like, see, these are the real terrorists. But there's no fucking proof of this. We're going to go with the evidence that we have right now. December 16th, 2025, Bondi Beach shooting. ISIS ideology. This is CNN coverage here. The father and son suspects accused of carrying out the Hanukkah massacre were motivated by Islamic State ideology, according to Australia's leader. CNN has learned that Sajid and Naveed Akram recently traveled to an island in the Philippines known for Islamic insurgency. Naveed on an Australian passport and Sajid, who was originally from India, on an Indian passport. Now I'm going to show you the clip of the heroism that emerges here. One man who wrestled a gun from one of the attackers before being shot is recovering in the hospital. On Tuesday, dashcam footage emerged showing another man grappling with the attacker as he exited the car. He was reportedly killed by the attackers. So there were two heroes. One of them tried his best to try and save everybody, and he ended up being killed. And then the other one, who I believe his name is Ahmed Il Ahmed, another Turkish Muslim, I believe, or maybe he's not Turkish, I don't know, but I do know that he's a Muslim. He wrestled the gun out of the guy's hand. I want to show you that footage. This guy got shot afterwards, but he did survive. Here, get a look. Bodied. Bodied. Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. Pull the fucking trigger. And he does. He pulls the trigger, but it's not loaded. It's either jammed or it's unloaded. Not cocked back. This man is a fucking hero. And yes, he got shot afterwards. There were two gunmen. But I need you to understand something, guys. The idea of a good guy with a gun is a fucking myth. The overwhelming majority of mass shootings that are stopped in the middle of the mass shooting are stopped by unarmed civilians. We're talking about the ones that aren't stopped by cops, right? The majority of mass shootings that are stopped during it, before the cops get there, are stopped by some brave father or brave mother who says, I'm not letting you kill my fucking kid. And they rush in, tackle that motherfucker, and take his gun. The idea of a good guy with a gun is a fucking myth. It is not real. So this guy in the white shirt who wrestled the gun out, he did survive. He did get shot. He is in the hospital. He is recovering. Okay, so some heroic shit right there. Absolute hero shit. And again, friend of the show, Adam Kinzinger, he's talking about exactly what I'm telling you. And the reason why I show you so much of Adam Kinzinger, guys, is because he is a former Republican. The point that I'm trying to get you to understand is that the Republican Party and its ideas are dead. It has been replaced by MAGA. That is not Republican values. Those are fascists in a cult, okay? This is a Republican, and I want you to hear his take on this situation.
Hey guys, so about this shooting today in Australia, and I want to be clear, I'm actually a proponent of conceal and carry. I had a situation in Milwaukee. You can read about it if you Google it.
And see, here's the thing. I disagree with him there. I live in New York. There's 8 to 10 million people in this fucking city. I don't want everybody in the city to have a fucking gun on their hip. The subways would be a nightmare. This shit would turn into GTA. But I understand where he's coming from because, I don't think he lives in New York City. He's been in New York City, but it's a different fucking stance.
And that made me a believer that, good law-abiding citizens that know what they're doing and have some training should be able to carry. But listen, not because you want to show off, but just like to protect yourself and your family. But this shooting in Australia today, I'm seeing so many of the folks on the right say things like, well, see, they have gun control and they still have shootings. So there's two big points with that. Number one, yeah, they had a big mass shooting. They don't have it every day.
Yeah, this was the first mass shooting in Australia in 30 fucking years, bro. We have one every day.
The U.S. averages like 1.1 mass shootings a day. Australia, it's a big deal because they don't have them that much. Secondly, and I've heard a lot of people say, well, if the people around them had guns, it could have stopped this. Possible. It's possible. But the terrorists were shooting with bolt action and shotguns, so they didn't have like ARs. These, every time you squeeze the trigger, you fire a shot. So they couldn't get out maybe even a fifth. Or
oh my god, he's fucking making this video while his kids are like playing on their toys. You could hear them rolling around in like that fake little taxi cab shit.
1/10 of the shots they could have with an AR. And so if you had a country that did not have gun control, like Australia has gun control, they would have been shooting with ARs.
Yep.
And so there would have been much more damage. So maybe they would have stopped it quicker, but the damage that would have been done before it was stopped was huge. Now again, I'm actually an advocate for concealed carry, particularly in this country, because there are so many guns that, you should be able to carry one if you know what you're doing. But at the same time, like, let's be honest about what happened today. Let's be honest about the fact that there are way too many shootings here. And to say somehow that Australia is in a bad place because...
Speaking of, by the way, we're going to cover in another video, we did just have that shooting at Brown University. They still haven't apprehended the shooter. It's been, what, 2 days now? They don't know where the fucking shooter is? It's fucking insane.
They had one. That's not right. And then also just there was a hero that tackled the gunman. What an amazing hero. That's not something you see a lot. I've seen a lot of MAGA say that they would have done it, and I can promise you they wouldn't.
They wouldn't.
But anyway, that's my thoughts. Curious what you think. Put them in the comments. Take care.
So again, there's a Republican saying the same fucking ideas that I'm saying, and it's because genuine populist ideas are just common sense. The idea that, like, hey, yeah, maybe we shouldn't give, like, everybody access to high-powered, high-capacity rifles with, like, 30-round magazines that can just obliterate people. Do you know what happens when a child gets shot with a 5.56 from an AR-15? You don't want to know, bro. It's fucking heinous. I have a friend in Homeland Security who had to actually see the bodies from Uvalde. He actually had to go into the school, and it was a crime scene, and he was so traumatized by that. And he said, he was like, dude, a child, an elementary school child hit by a 5.56 is obliterated. They're obliterated. They're blown up into multiple pieces. It's fucking grim. It is grim. It is so grim that they've never even been able to properly depict it in movies, you know? So I firmly support gun control. I'm a gun owner, right? I just believe that there are plenty of weapons that we shouldn't have access to. Anyway, the Australian Prime Minister rejects Netanyahu's linking of Palestinian recognition to the Bondi Beach attack. So what ended up happening was Satan's spawn, Benjamin Netanyahu, he claimed that the reason why this happened is because Australia recognizes, or last year, at the beginning of the year, recognized Palestine as a state, right? And Netanyahu says this is what happens when you recognize Palestine as a state. The Australian Prime Minister, he's rejected accusations from his Israeli counterpart that Australia's recognition of a Palestinian state earlier this year had contributed to Sunday's deadly anti-Semitic terrorist attack. Let's see. Is there any link between the recognition and the massacre in Bondi? No, I don't think so. Overwhelmingly, most of the world recognizes a two-state solution as being the way forward in the Middle East. So this is, again, another reason why people are assuming that the shooter might have been IDF. Granted, there's no fucking evidence of this. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Sunday rushed to blame the Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese for the Bondi Beach attack and suggested that Israel, quote, expects a global crackdown on anti-Semitism. Israel supports anti-Semitism, and I need you to understand why. Benjamin Netanyahu says, we are Israel. We are the Jewish state. Every action that we take represents the Jewish people, right? So then he'll bomb a fucking hospital, kill 500 kids, and then say, we just bombed that hospital in the name of Jewish people. Then your stupidest uncle will go, oh, those damn Jews, man. And by doing that, you increase the amount of anti-Semitism in the world. It becomes more and more common. People are more anti-Semitic. The more anti-Semitic people are, the more Benjamin Netanyahu can point to that anti-Semitism, just like he's doing right now, and go, don't you see the rise of anti-Semitism all across the world? This is why we need the ethno-state of Israel. This is why we need the Jewish state. Everything that I've been saying is true, as you can see. Benjamin Netanyahu is not a Jew. He doesn't support any Jewish values. He's not a religious man. He has hijacked Judaism as a way to excuse every single heinous action that his apartheid genocidal government fucking does. And that increases anti-Semitism, and then he can point to it. It is a never-ending fucking cycle. This guy fully supports anti-Semitism. I want to show you how American Jews are interpreting all of this. Most American Jews say that Israel has committed war crimes against Palestinians. So this polling here, the question here, this is asked to American Jews. Has Israel committed war crimes against Palestinians in Gaza? 61% of American Jews say yes. The second question is, has Israel committed a genocide against Palestinians? 39% of Jews say yes. This number is growing every single day. It's also varies depending on the age. Young Jews, disproportionately, they're like, yeah, no, Israel's committing a genocide. Like Gen Z Jews are like, no, Netanyahu's a fucking demon. Israel's committing a genocide. They're committing war crimes on the daily. It's the older Jews who grew up in a different era of propaganda who are like beholden to Israel. They will never, never, ever abandon Israel. But we're starting to see a huge jump, a huge rise where more and more Jews do not support Israel. And that is important to be able to differentiate between being Jewish and being Zionist. These are two completely different ideologies. And we know this because there are evangelical Christians in the United States who are Zionists. You ready for a scary statistic? This is real. There are more Christian Zionists in America than there are Jews on planet Earth. I'm going to say that again. There are more Christian Zionists than there are Jews on planet Earth. That is an irrefutable fact, okay? And that should go to show you that there is a stark difference between Judaism and Zionism if they're getting support from the American evangelical right wing, who believes that only when greater Israel is established and the Jews fully control the area of the Middle East, that Jesus will fucking come down and begin the rapture. Like, these are psychopathic fucking nutcases, okay? Anyway, I want to show you some details about the shooters, okay? So, the two shooters, we got Sajid Akram, 50 years old. He died at the scene. And then I believe his son, Naveed, his 24-year-old son, Naveed. They're suspected of killing 15 people and injuring dozens more. So, I believe they are, one of them is from India, the other one has an Australian passport, but clearly this has nothing to do with Muslim ideology, especially with the fucking hero who got the gun out was a goddamn Muslim. So I don't want to fucking hear it from the right wing, and I especially don't want to hear that, maybe if those people had guns, they would have been able to stop the gunman. Yeah, well then maybe they also would have had a mass shooting every single fucking day for the past 30 years like we have, okay? That's the fucking deal. Anyway, that's all I got for you for this video. If you're here live, you stay. We're going to keep on going. If you're watching this pre-recorded on YouTube, thank you very much. Remember, this is real independent media. I've never had a conversation with an advertiser, a billionaire, or a government. So if you do want to support this channel financially, please do. You could buy merch like the Constitusi mug or the Democratic Socialist poster. You can click the thanks button down below to tip me directly. You can click the join button down below to become a member. And you can go over to Patreon and become a patron. Thank you very much for 136,000 subs. Do me one last favor. Click that video over there. It's a banger. And I know bangers. Another banger, another banger, another banger, another banger, another banger. Okay, let's get that uploaded. I'm on fire today, gang. I'm on fire today, gang. I missed you fuckers. I can't believe that I was suspended for a week, dude. Like, I am the Lisan al-Gaib. I am literally the Lisan al-Gaib. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. All right. Bondi Beach gunman. Episode 328. Hell fucking yeah. Yo, guys, check out what I got coming in the mail from my favorite artist. He said, in terms of the colors, he said to me, he goes, the world is dark, let it burn. That's why he did like the anti-Mario colors. That's going to be coming soon. I can't fucking wait for that. Sick as fuck, right? Just so you know, these are entirely made out of like blunt wraps and shit. Like, same thing with the Luigi on the wall. You see like the Dutch and like this product contains nicotine. This art, these are all made out of different flavors and brands of blunt wraps and shit. They're really cool. Yeah, it's really fucking cool. I commissioned him for the entire Mario Party. So I've got Luigi, that Mario's going to be here soon, and then he's going to start working on other ones. I want the whole cast. I want Bowser, cuz you know what we do need? We need a Mario Party. Do you get that? I'm not going to clarify, but that's what we need. We need a Mario Party. All right, let's get this going. And by the way, I will be providing you guys with a link to, his name is RJ. I'll be providing you with a link to RJ's art if you want to buy your own stuff, because he makes a whole bunch of art. He was just with Chance the Rapper a couple of days ago. He made a blunt art of Chance, and then Chance came and he loved it. He bought the art. By the way, friend of the show, Chance the Rapper, if you're watching this, what's good, brother? He calls himself Chance the Historian sometimes, Shouts out to Chance for being based as fuck. All right, we're gonna need us or me. Where can I get one of those cubes? You can't, man. That's custom made. That's custom made. You're friends with everyone? Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty easy to be friends with. Chris, do you even consider that 200 million Jews die every year from a mass shooting? You fucking idiot. All right, camera roll. Luigi, shush. Hey, 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 stop. Luigi, enough. Tohairas, likiri, 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 likiri. All right. Likiri. Wow, you can't reply. You are too scared. I see how it is. Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? Huh? Allegation? What allegation? Yeah, he's probably talking to me. What allegation? $200 million Jews year death allegation? Yeah, no, that's not true. There's not even, I don't even think there's 200 million Jews on planet Earth, dude. Are you a fucking idiot? Are you an idiot? Are you a fucking moron? That's fucking crazy. There we go. I made the numbers up for dramatic effect. Yeah, no shit, dude. You know how fucking stupid you would have to be to think that there's 200 million Jews on planet Earth, bro? There are 15.7 million Jews on the planet. Yep. It's not that many of them. Okay, let's see. What should this say? The aftermath. One. Hanukkah massacre. Thanks for becoming a loyalist, Sean. Hanukkah massacre and first mass shooting in 30 years. Chris, can we talk about the crazy shit that's going on and identify it? But first, is there even a plan? You need to understand, reality is a lot scarier than conspiracy. The conspiracy that there is some ring of global elite who control every decision that is made and everything is planned out. I know that sounds scary, but it's actually a coping mechanism because it is what's the word? It's organized, right? In reality, nobody is in control. And the best that our world leaders can ask for when it comes to catastrophe is an early warning, right? Based on intel. The dark reality is that cabal of people who control every decision that is made on the planet doesn't exist, and yet we are as chaotic as we are. That is the unfortunate reality. It's way scarier than having something to blame. Go, oh, it's just the Illuminati. You know what I mean? Then you have something to blame. But if that doesn't exist, then that just means we're all fucking crazy. It's just how we are. You know? Anyway. Let's get this uploaded. All right. Bondi Beach. Australia. Australia's mass shooting at Bondi Beach. Analysis. Australia's mass shooting at Bondi Beach. Right wing. Oh, hold on. American conservatives blame Muslims and gun control. Australia's mass shooting at Bondi Beach. American conservatives blame Muslims and gun control. Thank you for the $5. Thank you for making politics palpable. My boyfriend and I watch you on the daily. Love from Canada. Thank you, Snow Mexico. I appreciate you. This is a tragedy, and the American right did not hesitate to jump on the opportunity to blame Muslims. Let's see how it starts. This shooting in Australia at Bondi Beach. Australia's mass shooting at Bondi Beach. American conservatives blame Muslims and gun control. There we go. Publish. All right, let's make an ad. Let's make an advertisement. Oh, new strike added and sound removed on YouTube. Let's see. Or sorry, not on YouTube, on TikTok. My bad. Which one? Appeal unavailable because you have already appealed it? I'm confused. Appeal. Which video was it? Dude, it's the ad that we just made. The ad that we just made was muted. Unbelievable. All right, let's make a new ad. I don't give a fuck, dude. You could take that entire platform away. I really don't give a shit. Anyway, thank you for the $5. When will you get into politics, when I'm 35, bro? I gotta run for president. You gotta be 35. Anyway, all right. American conservatives did not waste a moment to blame all Muslims and gun control for the mass shooting at Bondi Beach. Let's break it down with two things. Let's start with the gun control thing. This is the first mass shooting Australia has had in 30 years. Here in America, we have one every single fucking day. So if you are genuinely dumb enough to blame gun control and be like, oh, well, see, this is why it doesn't work. Oh, well, I guess the past 30 years didn't even fucking happen, you stupid himbo. Second thing, to blame Muslims for this is hilarious, considering one of the heroes who stopped the gunman, there's two gunmen, but stopped one of the gunmen, tackled him, took the gun away from him, was a Muslim. Huh? Doesn't that break down your whole fucking ideology? And I just need to mention how fucking stupid you gotta be to see two Muslims commit some heinous act of violence and go, yeah, no, I think all 1 billion Muslims on planet Earth are to blame for this. There's over 1 billion fucking Muslims, okay? Do you know how many mass shooters are fucking Christians? And what do you see us going, all Christians are mass shooters? No, you want to know why? Because we don't have a fucking mental disability like you. Anyway, I got a whole new YouTube video talking about how Benjamin Netanyahu said the reason this happened is because Australia recognizes Palestine as a state. I got all these fucking right-wing hacks who are like, this is what happens when you let Muslims into your country, man. This is what happens when you got gun control, man. Not to mention the fact that the shooters were using bolt-action rifles and pump-action shotguns, and if they had access to semi-automatic rifles, they probably would have taken out way fucking more people. But that fucks with your ideology, so you're just gonna never pretend that that happened. Anyway, whole new YouTube video on this. If you disagree with anything I said, you're wrong and stupid. Please comment, duet, Stitch, do everything you gotta do to let me know that you're fucking triggered. I love when you're triggered. You're all fucking inferior. New YouTube video, new YouTube video, new YouTube video, new YouTube video. Bondi Beach shooters. New YouTube video. What's your opinion on the Republican victim from Brown? I don't give a shit what their politics are. Nobody deserves to be gunned down. Are you fucking kidding? I don't give a shit if he was a Republican or a Democrat. Nobody deserves to be killed by a mass shooter at a fucking university. It's insane. What do you think of Sharia law, Chris? I don't support any sort of religious ethno-states. I don't support any sort of... I'm an American. I'm secular. We have a separation of church and state. I don't give a shit if it's Christian, if it's Jewish, if it's Muslim, if it's Buddhist. I will never bend the knee to some fucking bullshit-ass religion. They can all suck my dick. It's all fucking children's stories made for the least educated people on planet Earth to have something to point to and say, that's reality! It's just a coping mechanism. Get this on YouTube Shorts. Thanks, Oxynova. I appreciate that. Kyle is legit too. I fucking love Kyle Kalinske. That's my content creator. Kyle and Hassan, those are my content creators. I'm your content creator, they're my content creator. New episode of the Valenti VOD. All right, now let's get this uploaded on Instagram. New episode of the Valenti VOD. All right, what else do we got for the day? Oh, Dusty Smith? I don't know who that is. I would die if you made it on Kyle's show. Kyle already said he wants to have me on the show, so it's only a matter of time at this point. Kyle, if you're watching this, you sexy son of a bitch, have me on your show. I am the voice of rage, and you are the voice of reason. Combined, we could start a revolution. That's a joke. But yeah, no, get him. I need to kiss that man. If I ever meet Hassan Piker, I'm going to sexually harass him. I'm Italian. I'm not a predator. I'm Italian. Which is why you'll never meet him. I'll meet him with an A. When are you going on Kyle's show? Whenever the fuck he invites me. There we go. All right, those are up. All right, I'm trying to decide what else to talk about today? We have some options here. We could use the rest of them, though, for tomorrow. Kash Patel's FBI fucked up the Brown University shooting. We could talk about that. I think that's actually good for today. We got 3 videos banged out. I don't want to clog the feed. You know what I mean? I don't want to clog the feed. I think that'll do. That'll probably do for the day. We'll get the rest of these pumped out by tomorrow. Plus, I got some more work I got to do. I got to write a second script. As you know, we made. I showed you guys earlier the script for 5 steps, 5 tips on how to coup d'etat a South American nation. So that's going to be good. And then the second one I want to make is the history of manufactured consent. Because I believe that American manufactured consent goes all the way back to the Spanish-American War. I think that we have mastered the art of manufacturing consent here in the United States. And I want to do a little bit of the history of it, you know. I know that you're right about everything, but why do you believe that Israel will use nukes on Iran? Because Iran's only option to prevent themselves from being destroyed is to create nuclear weapons. And I believe that both Israel and Iran are insanely stupid nations. They are theocratic nations. Iran is a Muslim theocratic nation. Israel is a Jewish theocratic nation. There is nothing more dangerous than a theocratic nation with a nuclear weapon. They believe that they are sent by God. The only nations that are stupid enough to use those weapons in combat are theocratic nations. All right. Anyway, I think I'm going to end the stream here, guys. I'm going to get to work. I'm going to be writing these scripts. Thank you very much for tuning into the Valenti broadcast. I hope you had a good time. I hope you got a little bit more educated and you got a little touched up with the news. But other than that, thank you very much, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Nah, no palate cleanser today. I got to go. I got to get to work because I got shit to do later tonight. All right, guys. GG's. Later.